there's a truth almost no man truly understands. Coldness is rarely rejection. It's a test of desire. When she pulls away, ignores your messages, or seems distant, most men panic. They chase, they plead, they reveal their need. That's a weakness. That's scarcity. And Machiavelli would have silently smirked, because power and attraction are never given to those who beg. Here's the hidden secret. Her coldness isn't a wall. It's a deliberate invitation, a challenge, a spark that can ignite fascination if you know the psychology behind it. Master this, and what once seemed like distance can become the very thing that draws her closer, almost obsessively, to you. Step 1. Never fight coldness with warmth. Most men make the same fatal mistake. When a woman pulls away, they respond with frantic attention, endless explanations, or desperate attempts to win her back. They text more, call more, apologize, over-explain, essentially lowering their value with every word. This is weakness disguised as effort. Attention given freely is cheap, and cheapness kills attraction. Here's the truth few men understand. Her coldness is a test of your self-mastery, not your affection. When you respond to it with panic or neediness, you fail the test before it's even started. Instead, stay calm, stay rare, stay magnetic. Hold your energy. Do not fill the silence. Let it breathe. Let her wonder. Distance is your weapon. Scarcity is your power. When you stop chasing, something fascinating happens. Her mind starts working on its own. She begins asking herself questions she didn't notice before. Why isn't he chasing me? Where is he? Why does he seem so unfazed? Her curiosity grows. Her desire intensifies. What once seemed like coldness becomes a canvas for her imagination, and on that canvas, she begins to paint you as the prize she can't easily have. This is subtle mastery. You are no longer a man vying for her attention. You are a man she must wonder about, think about, and ultimately desire. Coldness is no longer a barrier. It is your opportunity to become irresistible. Step 2. The power of controlled ambiguity. When she withdraws, remember this: clarity is your enemy. Most men feel compelled to explain, justify, or reveal everything, trying to distance, trying to fix her coldness. But every explanation is a weakness. Every over-explained word chips away at your allure. Instead, embrace controlled ambiguity. Speak less, pause longer. Let silence linger like a question in the air. Every word you choose should leave her wanting more. Every carefully timed response should spark her curiosity. What is he thinking? Why does he seem untouchable? Ambiguity is magnetic. Mystery is irresistible. It triggers a primal response. Humans instinctively chase what they cannot fully understand. Machiavelli recognized this centuries ago. Power lies in being slightly out of reach, slightly unknowable, and never entirely predictable. By mastering ambiguity, you shift the dynamic. You are no longer just reacting to her coldness. You are orchestrating desire. She begins to fill in the blanks with her imagination, obsessing over possibilities, replaying interactions in her mind, and wondering how a man could remain so composed, so rare, so untouchable. In short, silence and subtlety aren't signs of disinterest. They are tools of psychological dominance. While other men exhaust themselves trying to explain and appease, you become the man she cannot stop thinking about. Step 3. Strategic reinforcement. Vanishing alone isn't enough. Absence creates curiosity, yes, but true desire is forged through unpredictability. You must return, but on your terms, in a way that reinforces your value. This is where strategy turns coldness into obsession. A playful text, a brief smile that hints at depth, a subtle action that reminds her of your uniqueness. Never too much, never too predictable. Each interaction becomes a reward, carefully timed and high in perceived value. Your presence now feels rare, potent, and intoxicating. This is the psychology of intermittent reward, the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. She doesn't know when she'll receive attention, and that uncertainty heightens her anticipation. Each moment with you feels intense, meaningful, and memorable because it isn't guaranteed. Desire doesn't grow from constant attention. It thrives on strategic engagement. When you show up selectively, confidently, and with purpose, you train her mind to crave you, to notice every nuance, to replay your interactions endlessly. You're no longer just a man she knows. You become a man she can't stop thinking about, a presence she subconsciously chases, even in your absence. Step 4. Signal self-mastery. Her coldness often isn't random, it's a test. At a deep, instinctual level, women sense neediness, fear of loss, or desperation, even if it's subtle. Most men fail here. They react with anxiety, overcompensation, or attempts to prove themselves. That only confirms her doubts. You flip the script by showing calm, unwavering self-mastery. You live your life on your terms. You pursue your goals, your passions, your purpose, independent of her approval or attention. Every action signals one undeniable truth. You are not dependent on her validation. This is magnetic because women instinctively desire what they cannot control. Your unshakable calm, your composed presence, your ability to remain unaffected by her distance, all of this communicates autonomy and power without a word. It's a silent force, far more compelling than any words of persuasion. When you master this, her perception shifts. She no longer sees you as just a man to be chased. Instead, she sees a man who operates on a higher plane, a man whose world cannot be shaken by her coldness. That rarity triggers desire, fascination, and even unconsciously, a pull toward you that grows stronger with every test she throws your way. Step 5. Turn curiosity into obsession. By now, you've mastered absence, ambiguity, strategic reinforcement, and self-mastery. The final step is to transform all of that curiosity into a magnetic obsession. When you combine these elements, you create a puzzle she cannot ignore, an intricate psychological labyrinth that her mind feels compelled to solve. Her brain instinctively craves closure. Every unanswered message, every pause, every subtle display of value becomes a mental spark. She starts filling in the gaps with thoughts of you, imagining your life, your intentions, your reactions, often more vividly than reality itself. Every cold moment turns into a trigger for speculation. Every vanishing act becomes a challenge she unconsciously wants to meet. This is the genius of psychological engineering of desire. You are no longer asking for attention. You are orchestrating it silently through her own mind. Without a single plea, without a single desperate word, she becomes invested. She chases the mystery, analyzes your behavior, and imagines the connection you've created because it feels rare, valuable, and untouchable. At this stage, her fascination is self-propelled. She isn't just interested. She's obsessed, drawn to you by the strategic mastery of human psychology you now command. What started as coldness has been entirely transformed into desire, crafted, subtle, and unstoppable. A man meets a woman who suddenly pulls away. Most men panic. They text constantly, try to explain, or beg for attention. He does the opposite. He vanishes from her view, immerses himself in his work, and occasionally appears with playful, subtle gestures that hint at value without trying too hard. Slowly, she begins to imagine him constantly. She wonders, Where is he? Who is he with? Why doesn't he chase me? In weeks, her coldness transforms into obsession, all because he understood the psychology of absence, curiosity, and strategic value. This isn't cruelty, it's strategy. Desire is never given to those who plead. It is engineered through presence, absence, and psychological mastery. Most men react. He leads. Most men chase. He cultivates. Coldness is no longer an obstacle. It becomes the most powerful tool, a trigger that fuels fascination, intrigue, and ultimately, desire. To use this today, stop chasing when she withdraws and step back. Focus relentlessly on your life, growth, and achievements, signaling that your value is rooted in autonomy, not approval. Reappear unpredictably, with high-value, playful, or intriguing gestures that make every interaction rare and potent. Keep your responses minimal, ambiguous, and magnetic, saying enough to spark curiosity, but never over-explaining. Observe her reactions. Adjust without chasing. Always lead, and never plead. When applied consistently, her coldness stops being a barrier. It becomes the mechanism through which her desire for you grows, almost uncontrollably, guided entirely by her own psychology. The final truth is this: women are not fickle. They are wired for complexity. Coldness is rarely rejection. It is a doorway, a test of desire and value. Your task is simple yet powerful. Remain untouchable, elevate yourself, and transform her testing into longing. By mastering the reversal trick, her coldness ceases to intimidate you. It becomes a force that draws her closer, fuels her curiosity, and amplifies her desire, making her the one chasing the connection you strategically cultivate.